CLC Stage 37 Grammar Screencast. In this chapter, we're doing a recap and review of the indirect statement clause and all of its permutations. This is why we are infinitiving out to infinity and beyond. All right, from Latin 1, you learn the present infinitive. We'll have the array endings. Of course, sum is a little irregular. It's esse. The passive will have the same endings, but you'll have a long I stem. Where you'll throw into problems is dealing with the present infinitive passive of the third conjugation, and 3I, of course, which indicates that it's shorter. It's not caperi, it's capi and mitti. Well, that looks like the first singular perfect, Reverend Greg. It does, but the perfect stem isn't found at the beginning of that ending. Therefore, it's the present infinitive passive. Now let's talk about the perfect infinitive, active and passive. Well, you have a discrete form, perfect ending, isse, perfect ending, isse, perfect stem, isse, etc. Well, how do you do the perfect infinitive passive? Well, it's not like Greek where you have another form to memorize. It's just the perfect participle plus esse. So therefore, perfective infinitive mode, meaning you don't have tense, passive. And of course, for deponents, it wouldn't have that at all. Now, let's take a look here at the future infinitive active and passive. Use the laudat. So you use the perfect stem, perfect participle stem, but instead of a-us-um, it's infix a-us-um. Laudatura, laudaturam, laudaturas. And, of course, you add esse. Well, what about the so-called future infinitive passive? Well, that's a fun one, kids. Basically, you'll take your perfect participle, and then you'll add an ire, which is the infinitive passive of going to. So it's perfective. What's the tense? Well, it's a kind of a future tense, I guess. And passive. So will be sent or is going to be sent. Isn't that nice? You actually get to have nice going construction. Well, let's take a look at what that looks like for indirect statement clauses. As you know, the head verb will tell you your tense. So he said, present infinitives will be all progressive. Perfect infinitives will be all perfective. Had been. While the future infinitive will also be was going to. Notice that it's perspective because the urus and the endus was needing to be. Where do you get the was from? From the head verb. Now, when you have a present tense head verb, it's progressive for the present infinitive. Present is sending or sends. It's progressive, it's present infinitive passive, so is being sent. Perfect infinitive will be isse, so therefore has sent. Why has? Because it's perfective, present, active. Now it's passive, you'll use the periphrastic construction with the infinitive. So participle plus the infinitive, perfective, present, passive, has been sent. And then, of course, is going to send for the future infinitive, and future infinitive passive is needing to be sent. Let's see what it looks like in the passage here. So Agricola, with the Caledonians having been conquered, dictates a letter to a messenger. In this letter, Agricola announces the victory of the Romans to the emperor. Agricola says, indirect statement clause, there's your infinitive, there's your accusative subject phrase, that the Roman army has conquered. It's perfective present, has conquered the Caledonians. Agricola says, again, head verb, that indirect statement clause, multos hostes, accusative subject phrase, many enemies, perfective present, have perished. Few, perfective present, from the decade, have escaped. Agricola says that many nations, misisse, have, perfective present, have sent messengers. Who, petant, notice it's subjunctive, who would seek peace. All right. Of course, if it were future, he will say he will be sending and he will be sent. He will have sent a perfective future if your head verb is future. All right, well, that sounds like that's everything you need for grammar lecture, and I'll see you, God willing, in class.